Hello, my friends. We are going to make a foldable today. So what I want you to have is a blank piece of printer paper. We are going to do a hot dog fold. Nope, I totally lied. We're doing a hamburger. Silly me, silly me. Okay, so fold it in half, hamburger style. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold to the line and crease. Fold to the line and crease. And we're going to fold in half. Okay, so you should have a piece of paper that has 8 rectangles. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take our scissors and we are going to cut till the first crease. Cut until the first crease. So now this is what we have, our situation here. Flap 1, flap 2, flap 3, and flap 4. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video if you need more time to get that worked out. You will be making 2 cuts only to this first little section. All right. Now that we all have our foldable, we are going to fill it out. Okay. This is going to be called our Macromolecule Foldable. And our first macromolecules are carbohydrates. Remember, we learned that in our pizza macromolecule input chart. Carbohydrates were in the crust. And a carbohydrate is a CHO. That means that it contains a carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And that is what makes up the carbohydrate. So, examples of carbohydrate include sugar, vegetables. I'm going to write veggies, and fruits. Those are all. I'm going to try a different light. I think that's better without the light. Okay, and here's where I would pull sticks, and you would tell me all sorts of things that are one of those. Okay, and then we draw them. Here is, I think I had better use a different one. Bread. Bread is a carbohydrate. That's stuff you eat in the morning with your milk, called your cereal, is a carbohydrate. My super most favoriteest dinner, see if you can figure this out. Got some yellow noodles, oops, covered in red sauce. Oh yeah, we got pasta. Is so my favorite thing. Brownies, cookies, all sorts of those things. And we have our vegetables. And that's really, really, really tough to remember that vegetables are, in fact, carbohydrates. But they are. There's a tomato, a potato. Here's an apple. That's an apple. Let's see. Oh, let's do this one. Grapes. Apples, grapes, all sorts of fruits and vegetables. Those are carbohydrates. Okay, so here is the front of the foldable. I can see my purple is not showing up very well. So I'm going to write those in a darker color for you. Okay. Pastas, veggies, and fruits are all super yummy. And they are a carbohydrate, they are a CHO. So, I know you're wondering, Miss Smitha, why do we use these? What a great idea. What a good question to ask. Okay, so what we're going to do is open the flap. We're going to write function here. What are the function of carbohydrates? Those football players that get pasta the night before a game will tell you that it gives them energy. Okay, and the point of carbohydrates is short term energy. Okay, we're filling up that liver with glucose so that we have it when we need it. Okay, the next thing that goes on this square is a monomer. And remember, the monomer is a building block. Okay, the building block of a carbohydrate is called a monosaccharide. Super easy to spell when you're looking somewhere else. Okay, and some common monosaccharides. These are hexagons. Oh, that's a terrible hexagon. Here we go. We don't judge. Glucose is a common monosaccharide. Fructose is a pentagon. This is the fruit that is, or the sugar that is found in fruit. And I'm pretty sure sucrose. That's the table sugar that you have at home. I'm pretty sure that's a hexagon as well. Don't quote me on that though. Okay, so here is the function and monomer of a carbohydrate. Next, our next flap that we are using over here, we're going to use it for lipids. Remember, another name for lipids is called fats. And the molecules that make up lipids are C, H, and O. This is our second CHO. So we have lots of examples of lipids and fats. Okay, here's one. Here we go. Can you guys tell what this is? It's a candle. And in fact, wax is a type of a lipid. Then we have this wonderful substance. And let's really hard to see, so I'm going to just kind of outline it there for you. And it's super yummy. We put it on our toast and we put it on corn. And butter is a lipid. Okay. Next we have this thing called oil. And we cook with oil. We do all sorts of things with oil. And it is also a lipid. Then there's this weird, crazy thing that you really don't care about right now, but you will when you're older, called cholesterol. That's the fats that are in your blood veins and arteries, and there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, and of course the bad cholesterol is bad, clogs up arteries, causes heart attacks, things like that. Okay, so those are all examples of lipids and fats. Okay, we're going to open our foldable and the function. We have lots of functions for lipids. Oh, school's out. We have lots of functions for lipids, such as long-term energy storage. We have cell membranes. It makes up cell membranes, which most cells need. They are also chemical messengers. Okay. Messengers. And they insulate and protect a whole bunch of stuff in our body. Okay, protection. So fats are super important in our bodies. And the monomer of a fat, monomer, is a glycerol atom, or not atom, molecule, glycerol. Okay, and 3 fatty acid chains. Okay, that is the function and monomer of lipids. All right, our next macromolecule is a protein. And a protein is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, but now we're adding an atom in the form of nitrogen. Okay, and we get our protein all sorts of ways. Okay, some yummy, yummy cashews. Ooh. Peanuts, almonds, all sorts of things. Sometimes in the mornings, we'll have scrambled eggs. Eggs are a good source of proteins. Fish. Oh, look at that fish. Best fish ever. Chicken. Chicken. Fish. here's this thing. Students are probably going to be coming and visiting. You guys can come in, but I'm recording a video. So we're going to stay quiet. Okay. Steak. Those are all good ways to get your proteins. Okay. Next, we are going to open our foldable and learn about the function of proteins. And the function, they help us move. Okay. Muscles are proteins, and those are connected to our bones and they help us move. Proteins are also enzymes. Excuse me. Enzymes help speed up reactions. They help transport things within the cell. And excuse me. They help regulate all sorts of things in our bodies. Okay? The monomer of a protein is called an amino acid. And there are 20 different amino acids that make up every protein in our body. Just in different combinations and things like that. Okay, so here is the function of proteins and the monomer of proteins. Okay, and we are on to our last macromolecule. And our last one would be nucleic acids. This is, in fact, my favorite macromolecule. It is made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and now we are adding a fifth one of phosphorus. So, there are two types of nucleic acids that we have. We have DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, and we have RNA, which is ribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid is a double-stranded molecule, while RNA is a single-stranded molecule. And these are going to have base pairs where these are just going to be single things like so. There we go. There are 4 nucleotides that make up, well, let's not use orange, DNA. And I may or may not have a DNA tattoo. That is how much I love DNA. So, here we go. This would be an example of DNA double-stranded. This would be an example of RNA. Okay. Let's open her up and find out what the function of DNA and RNA are. Function of nucleic acids. And the function is to carry genetic information to make proteins. And this is a whole chapter in our upcoming lessons. That's how cool it is. It has a whole chapter. And the monomers of nucleic acid are a sugar group, sugar, and it is connected to a phosphate group. And over here, it's connected to a base. So sugar-base phosphate is in fact the monomer. Okay, it's one of those rungs. So here's an RNA molecule. It is one of those rungs. Each one of these colors is one of those, a sugar base and a phosphate group. And like so. So all three of these things would be in one of those nucleotides. Okay, here is our macromolecule foldable. Go ahead and finish it up if you need to. The instructions, I'll have them right here with me if I went too fast for you. When you're done, glue it in page 17, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. I think it says glue your macromolecule foldable here. So find that page. I think it's around 17 or is 17. And have a good day. Bye.